Okay, hello. We are ready for the next one. Only two problems on this one, but the problems are fairly long. This is 5.2. It says solve by graphing, and these are inequalities. So notice your less than and greater than symbols. And this is where we have to shade. So the first thing I want to do is graph the lines. And what I mean by that is take the first one, which is 8x plus 4y, and make it equal 12. And then that's in standard form. So we can find the intercepts by like going 8x is 12, so x is 12/8. In other words, divide by 4, that's 3 halves or 1.5. And your y-intercept would be found by 4y is 12, so your y-intercept is 3. So let's go graph that line. X-intercept is 3 halves or 1.5, so 1.5 I'm going to put right there. And your y-intercept is 3, so it's up here. And that needs to be a solid line down through it. Then I need to decide which side I'm going to shade. And remember doing the test point, the 0, 0. We've done this already. And I plug 0, 0 into the problem. In other words, 8 times 0 plus 4 times 0, 0. Is that less than 12? In other words, is 0 less than or equal to 12? That's a yes. A yes answer. So I'm going to shade on the 0, 0 side. But I'm not going to shade yet. I'm just going to put little arrows on here. That means I want to eventually shade there to the left. So now I need to do the second line. And to do that, I need to erase some of this work. You guys don't erase it. I just got to erase it so I have room to write here on my computer. I think you guys will have enough room on your papers to write all this out. Let's now graph the second line. Now I'm going to make that y equals 1/2 x minus 2. So remember now this one's not written in standard form. It's written in y equals mx plus b form. My y-intercept is the -2, and my slope is the 1/2. So I want to go up 1 and write 2. So my y-intercept is -2. I'm going to mark that point over on the graph. From there, I want to go up 1 and write 2. And this is going to be a dotted line because the inequality symbol is not underlined. So now I need to decide where I shade on that red line. Well, test point 0, 0, let's plug it in. 0 is greater than 1/2 times 0 minus 2. In other words, 0 is greater than -2. Is 0 greater than -2? That's a yes, which means I want to shade on the test point side. So I'm going to put little arrows here that tells me where I shade. Now look at your black line and look at your red line, and where do those two shaded places meet? And I will shade this area right in here. That's where the arrows are going to overlap. That's where your shading is going to overlap. We've done this before, but just with one line. Now we do it with 2 lines. Let's try another one. The second one. Well, on the first one, I'm going to graph the first line. I'm going to say that's y equals 2x plus 4. So my y-intercept is 4. And my slope would be 2 over 1. So up 2 and right 1. Let's go graph that line. Y-intercept is 4 on the graph, mark 4. Up 2, right 1. It's the second point. And that symbol's not underlined, so it's dotted. Test point 0, 0. Plug it in. 0 is greater than 2 times 0 plus 4. In other words, 0 is that greater than 4, and that's a no. So I'm going to shade this way. Just put my arrows in there for now. Don't shade yet because I haven't graphed the second line yet. And I need to erase all of this in red just to give me some room to write. The next one, I'm going to do this line, which is in standard form, as 6x plus 2y equals negative 2. So my x-intercept would be 6x equals negative 2, or x is negative 2 over 6, which reduces to negative 1/3. My y-intercept would just be 2y is negative 2, or in other words, y is negative 1. So let's go over and graph those two intercepts. X-intercept's negative 1/3, just kind of squeeze it in about right there. Y-intercept negative 1, be right there. And since this symbol is underlined, it will be a solid line. So then, almost done. Test point, 0, 0. And let's plug it in. 6 times 0 plus 2 times 0. Is that greater than negative 2? In other words, is 0 greater than or equal to negative 2? And that is yes. So I want to shade this way. So I'll add these little arrows. And I look at my arrows, and where do the arrows overlap? And I'm going to do it in green. It's this little section right in there. That's where the shaded areas would overlap. Thanks for watching. Good luck on these.